Shedeur said it was chemistry, right? So Shedeur took the blame. You know, like, basically, it's kind of on me. It could be chemistry. Now, I'm further analyzing this damn play now after the fact, and it looked like Jerry Jeudy might have gave up on the play. Now, I'm not saying that he did or he didn't, but it looked real spooky, Jerry Jeudy, bro. You ain't had your arms out. You ain't had nothing. Looked like you was running half speed, dog. And you can't be going out like that 2 weeks in a row.
The moment news broke of the heated exchange between Jerry Jeudy and Shedeur Sanders, the NFL conversation shifted instantly. What started as a simple on-field disagreement erupted into one of the most talked about confrontations of the season, and Jeudy quickly found himself in a storm he clearly didn't anticipate.
4th and 1, those 2 4th and 1s that didn't work. And did you like Kevin having the aggressiveness there, even backed up in your territory?
I mean, first, that's a rude question to ask. If I think, you know, it was a great...
Reports say Jeudy approached the situation with the energy of a veteran wide receiver demanding respect, but what he ran into was a young quarterback whose confidence, composure, and competitive fire were far stronger than anticipated. The exchange stunned onlookers, players, and analysts, especially because Shedeur didn't back down for a second. Instead, he delivered a response that instantly shifted the power dynamic on the field and left Jeudy regretting the decision to challenge him so aggressively. The tension didn't form out of thin air. The Browns' offense has been under scrutiny, the chemistry between receivers and quarterbacks has been questioned, and frustration has been building among players seeking a more consistent identity. But when Jeudy directed those frustrations towards Shedeur, it created a spark that ignited the entire moment. Teammates immediately took notice, coaches took notice, and fans watching practice clips online knew instantly that this wasn't a typical disagreement. This was a turning point.
Those 2 4th and 1s that didn't work. And did you like Kevin having the aggressiveness there, even backed up in your territory?
I mean, first, that's a rude question to ask. If I think, you know, it was a great call by my coach.
Now, mind y'all, bro, this is Cleveland media asking him this. Now y'all see what I be talking about. And Tony Grossi asked some stupid-ass questions, too.
You know?
Do you like the aggression? Like, do you like the call? Like, do you like...
I like being out there playing.
Thank you, Shadur.
so whatever that comes with, it comes with, you know? Like, you know, we're not going to be here and ever point finger at no coach or do anything like.
Shedeur's calm but firm response showcased a level of leadership the Browns had been craving for months, and it surprised even those who believed he wasn't ready to step into a commanding role. What made Jeudy's regret appear so quickly was the reaction inside the facility. Players reportedly felt Shedeur handled the moment with a presence far beyond his rookie status. He didn't escalate the situation, he didn't take the bait, and he didn't allow any disrespect to go unanswered. Instead, he established a line that couldn't be crossed, signaling to the entire roster that he wasn't simply a young quarterback trying to earn respect. He was someone who expected it. This shift in energy created ripple effects immediately. Suddenly, conversations about the Browns' offense weren't centered on inexperience or uncertainty. They were focused on Shedeur's emerging leadership and the message he sent during the exchange. Jeudy, on the other hand, found himself on the wrong side of public reaction. Fans questioned why a player with inconsistent production chose to challenge a quarterback trying to elevate the team. Critics argued that Jeudy misread the moment, forgetting that Shedeur had already built a reputation for staying composed under pressure and responding with intelligence rather than emotion.
After the game. Now, Jerry Jeudy has found himself in some serious hot water yet another week. Now, last week we seen Jerry Jeudy fumble. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I didn't really want to go in on Jerry Jeudy because he liked that on the football field. But it was looking kind of spooky. Looked like he just did one of these. He just threw the ball. You know, but I let that slide, dog. I let you slide. Now, today, I ain't the only one that noticed this. Now, Shedeur had a pass, right? Shedeur had a situation in the game where Jerry Jeudy looked like he went out on an out route or a post, one of those long routes, bruh. And Shedeur was asked about...
The optics made the wide receiver appear impulsive, while Shedeur emerged from the confrontation looking more mature and in control than anyone expected. By the time analysts weighed in, it was clear. Jeudy had picked the wrong battle at the wrong time. Shedeur, instead of folding, used the moment to showcase exactly why so many scouts believed he had franchise quarterback potential. And Jeudy? He walked away, knowing he had underestimated someone who was no longer just a rookie, but a leader forming right in front of the league's eyes. As soon as the confrontation hit social media, Analysts began dissecting the deeper meaning behind it, and Jeudy's regret only grew louder. Clips circulated everywhere, showing body language, tone, and the exact moment Shadur delivered a sharp, controlled response that caught Jeudy off guard. That clip became the centerpiece of NFL debate shows, with many former players explaining why this moment mattered far more than a simple disagreement at practice. They pointed out that locker rooms pay close attention to conflicts involving quarterbacks because those moments reveal how a team sees leadership, whether teammates trust the young guy to command a huddle, take criticism, and maintain authority under fire. Shadur checked every box that day. He didn't flinch, he didn't panic, he didn't try to win the argument, he asserted control. Analysts highlighted how rare that level of poise is for a quarterback fresh into the league. Many rookies shrink in moments where veterans challenge them. They avoid confrontation, defer responsibility, or apologize to avoid tension.
I'm done talking to you, bro. What is he even arguing about? Because it can't be that one play. Look at him.
Shadur did none of that. Instead, his response symbolized a quarterback with a clear understanding of his responsibility and the expectations placed on him. Meanwhile, Jeudy's frustration didn't help his case. His reaction wasn't just emotional, it appeared misdirected. The Browns' offensive issues were never caused by Shadur, but by a system that had been inconsistent long before he arrived. Yet Jeudy aimed his energy at the most visible target, the rookie quarterback. Analysts questioned whether the wide receiver was projecting his own frustrations or simply trying to assert seniority in a moment where emotions spilled over. Either way, public reaction wasn't kind. Fans roasted Jeudy for trying to intimidate someone who handled the situation better than most veterans would have. What intensified Jeudy's regret even more was the behind-the-scenes reaction from coaches. According to reports, the staff viewed Shadur's response as proof that he's ready to take on a larger leadership role. This immediately shifted internal conversations. Suddenly, the rookie wasn't simply being evaluated for his mechanics and reads, he was being evaluated for his command of the locker room, and in that moment, he excelled. Players who witnessed the exchange reportedly gravitated towards Shadur afterward, validating him not through words but through respect.
Talk to me nice, Shadur. Talk to me nice.
Look. No arms. No, look like he gave up on the play.
Okay, Jerry. You know what I'm saying? That's tutty if you know what I'm saying? Listen to butter. That's tutty if you put your hands up a little bit. Maybe a little hands up action. Maybe a little jump a little smidge. That shit right there. Look at that good. Look at that lineman out there making breakfast. Boy, you jumping, you put your hands up.
Individuals who had previously withheld judgment about whether he was ready to step into a more prominent role now saw him differently. Leadership doesn't come from perfect stats or highlight throws. It comes from moments where pressure magnifies a player's true character. Shadur passed that test effortlessly. For Jeudy, however, the fallout was harsh. His reputation took a hit as fans and analysts questioned his professionalism and awareness. In trying to check a rookie, he elevated him instead. And that's a moment wide receivers rarely recover from, when the quarterback becomes the center of team identity. The real turning point came when veteran players reacted to the incident. Teammates who had remained quiet about the quarterback situation suddenly became vocal, praising Shadur's presence, work ethic, and maturity. They didn't have to pick sides publicly. Their actions inside the facility made it clear where their respect now leaned. Some players reportedly approached Shadur after the exchange, reaffirming that they trusted his leadership despite the intensity of the moment. Others viewed Jeudy's behavior as unnecessary tension in a season already filled with pressure. Coaches took notice of this shift immediately. They weren't just evaluating Shadur's performance anymore, they were observing how the locker room responded to him. Leadership moments in the NFL aren't always about speeches or motivational tactics. They're often defined by how a player stands his ground when tested. Shadur demonstrated that rare combination of confidence without arrogance, firmness without disrespect, and composure without fear. That's the formula quarterbacks need to earn the trust of a veteran locker room, and Shadur displayed it naturally. This moment came at a time when the Browns desperately needed internal stability. Media coverage surrounding the team's quarterback situation had been relentless, with fans demanding clearer direction and more accountability. The offense lacked rhythm, receivers wanted more involvement, and the coaching staff struggled to find balance between development and execution. Into that chaos stepped Shedeur Sanders, who handled himself like someone who had been in the league for years, not months. Jeudy realized quickly that his attempt to challenge the rookie may have backfired more dramatically than he anticipated. Instead of shaking Shedeur's confidence, he hardened it. Instead of creating doubt among teammates, he created unity around the quarterback. And instead of exposing weakness, he revealed leadership potential. This shift forced Jeudy to reflect on the situation more seriously, especially once reporters began asking questions and analysts dissected the exchange from every angle. The confrontation didn't damage Shedeur's reputation, it strengthened it. Analysts began comparing him to young quarterbacks who earned respect early by refusing to fold under veteran pressure. They highlighted how moments like this often become defining memories players look back on when discussing the early stages of their careers. Some analysts even suggested that this exchange would become a foundational story in Shedeur's rise as a franchise quarterback if his career continued on an upward trajectory. As for Jeudy, the regret was undeniable. His attempt at asserting dominance accidentally helped create the narrative that Shedeur was ready for the spotlight, and in the NFL, perception matters. The locker room now viewed Shedeur not just as the future, but as someone capable of leading right now. That shift would have long-term consequences, not just for Jeudy, but for the entire team. As the dust settled, the confrontation between Jeudy and Shedeur sparked a much larger conversation across the league. Analysts began discussing how young quarterbacks earn respect in today's NFL, especially when they enter locker rooms filled with veterans who expect instant leadership and maturity. Historically, rookies were expected to sit, learn, and stay quiet. But the modern NFL is different. Young passers often walk into franchises desperate for immediate success, and they're forced into leadership roles long before coaches plan for it. Shedeur's moment with Jeudy became a case study. Former players on sports networks explained that disrespect or confrontational energy toward a quarterback can derail chemistry, unless the quarterback stands firm. They praised Shedeur's calm approach, emphasizing that leadership is judged not by how loudly someone responds, but by how clearly they set boundaries. The rookie did exactly that. Meanwhile, Jeudy's regret intensified as he watched public reaction turn sharply against him. Fans accused him of misplacing frustration. Analysts said he failed to recognize the moment. Even fellow wide receivers around the league chimed in indirectly through social media, implying that starting conflict with a quarterback rarely produces anything positive. The narrative painted Jeudy as someone who created unnecessary drama at a critical point in the season. For the Browns' coaching staff, however, the moment became a catalyst to reassess their offensive dynamics. If the quarterback commanded the respect of the locker room, even under pressure, then the coaching staff had a responsibility to adjust the system to match that leadership. This put Stefanski and his staff under immediate pressure to reevaluate reps, play calling, and Shedeur's involvement in key offensive roles. NFL insiders soon began reporting that Shedeur was quietly earning more influence in film sessions and offensive planning. Not because of stats, not because of hype, but because of leadership. Leadership that had now been showcased in front of the entire team. Leadership that made players willing to buy into a new direction for the offense. The confrontation with Jeudy became bigger than both players. It became a symbol of a shift happening inside the Browns organization. A shift towards Shedeur being viewed as not just a young player with potential, but someone capable of guiding the entire team. And for Jeudy, the regret lingered because he misjudged the rookie's composure, misread the moment, and underestimated the impact his challenge would have. Instead of weakening Shedeur's standing, he strengthened it. Instead of creating distance, he created unity around the quarterback he tried to confront. Jeudy didn't just lose the argument, he accidentally helped launch the next chapter of Shedeur's rise. By the end of the week, the incident had evolved into one of the most defining moments of the Browns' season. Jeudy's regret wasn't just emotional, it was strategic, because the confrontation he initiated became the moment that solidified Shedeur Sanders as a respected leader inside the locker room. Veterans admired the quarterback's composure, coaches recognized his maturity, analysts celebrated his response, and fans saw him as someone ready to take command sooner than expected. The ripple effects were immediate. Practice tempo changed, communication improved, the energy in the quarterback room shifted. Teammates leaned on Shedeur more when discussing routes, timing, and adjustments. Trust grew organically, not through forced speeches or orchestrated leadership sessions. but through a single moment where a rookie refused to fold. Meanwhile, Jeudy found himself isolated in the conversation. Every headline, every breakdown, every analyst reaction pointed back to the same conclusion. He underestimated the quarterback he challenged. His status as a veteran no longer carried the same weight in the public eye. Fans questioned his professionalism, analysts questioned his awareness, and the locker room quietly questioned whether his frustrations were rooted in team issues or personal ones. The Browns organization now found itself preparing for the future with a clearer direction. Shadur wasn't simply going to be a developmental project. He was becoming the center of the team's identity. The confrontation exposed what the Browns had been missing: someone willing to command the huddle, address teammates with authority, and stand firm even when tested by veterans. Shedur's response checked every box. The moment also revealed something deeper about the modern NFL. Leadership isn't assigned, it's proven. Shadur proved it in one exchange, and that proof will follow him for the rest of his career. By the time the coverage settled, one thing was undeniable. Jerry Jeudy regretted everything about the moment. He regretted the timing, he regretted the tone, and most of all, he regretted challenging a quarterback who wasn't intimidated, wasn't rattled, and wasn't backing down. In the end, Jeudy accidentally gave the league a glimpse of Shedur's true character, and it was the best thing that could have happened for the young quarterback's rise. If you enjoyed this deep dive breakdown, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more NFL stories, analysis, and behind the scenes coverage.